We have Josh from BikeShopHub.com and Anthony from the Flagstaff Biking Organization. Of course, we're here to chat about everything Bike to Work Week. Welcome, gentlemen. How was the ride in?
It was a bit brisk.
A bit brisk?
I had a tailwind, and so I was riding real quickly.
There you go.
It's not quite as windy as yesterday, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's supposed to get a little bit breezy. May have some rain showers in the area for this week's Bike to Work Week. I'm not going to lie, but I'm committed. I don't care if it's raining, it's snowing. Okay, well I do care, but I'm still going to do it. How are things going so far? Of course, we kicked off Saturday at Heritage Square. See, I've still got the sunburn from that. It's yeah, sunblock is important apparently even in the morning hours.
Yeah, at 7,000 feet, it's definitely good to have sunblock.
Yeah. My bad. And see, I knew that. I left the house and we had like an hour left. I'm like, I probably should have put sunblock on this morning. It was way too late.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, Sunday was a great event. We had, I don't know, several hundred people down at Heritage Square for a bike swap and bike parade, and got some new memberships for Flagstaff Biking, and just spread the word about the upcoming festivities and riding throughout this week. So great kickoff. And then we had a kickoff ride yesterday morning with the mayor, and we got a proclamation from the city council and the mayor that it is officially Flagstaff Bike to Work Week, according to the city of Flagstaff as well as Flagstaff Biking Organization. So that's always a nice thing.
Nice. You mean us saying it wasn't enough? We did
well,
to say it. I mean, I'm glad she did.
Every little bit helps, but
no,
you know,
absolutely.
You got to have buy-in from the government a little.
Yeah.
And it's Bike to Work Week throughout the country as well.
This is true, yes.
Yep.
Nice. Very cool. So what do we have to look forward to today as far as the Bike to Work festivities?
Well, today we have day 2 of the Worksite Challenge. So everybody who rides in and logs their commutes at flagstaffbiking.org is eligible to win raffle prizes. There's some really great stuff. We won't take raffle prizes under 25 bucks, so they're all good, solid value prizes. So
nice.
You're not going to win just a water bottle or something like that. You're going to win panniers or, I don't know, we have like acupuncture or stuff like that. I mean, it's
nice.
a great cool raffle. And then if your worksite's registered, your worksite becomes eligible to win a Voodoo bike from Flagstaff Bike Revolution, a Specialized Globe bike from Absolute Bikes, or a WanderTech Bongo trailer from Bike Shop Hub.
Okay.
That your worksite can then use throughout the rest of the year as sort of the shop bike to get around. So that's kind of a nice thing. So we have that going on today, actually throughout the whole week. This evening we have Jack Welch and Martin Inch are running a cruiser ride throughout town. Those two guys are local bike pedestrian advocates, and they're going to take folks around on a mellow ride on the urban trail system. Wind up at Bigfoot Barbecue, where they're donating 10% of tonight's sales to Flagstaff Biking Organization so that we can do more bike advocacy stuff in town. Flagstaff Medical Center this evening is putting on a presentation on, actually Randy Vickery from the League of American Bicyclists, another regional bike advocate, is putting on a presentation on bike safety and bike laws. So if you have questions about that or want to learn how to ride in traffic a little better, that's at Flagstaff Medical Center. And then if you ride up Mars Hill today to Lowell Observatory, they will give you a 2-for-1 pass and a bottle of water. So
nice. That's a steep
kind of a nice
hill,
thing.
if I
It's a big hill.
Right.
Now I need to tell you something about these guys up at Lowell Observatory.
Okay.
They have won the Worksite Challenge every year for several years now.
That's what I
which
thought.
is impressive because they have the worst hill in town to get up.
Well, good for them. That's so. Am I going to get razzed for taking my bike up there because it's electric?
No, you know, they're all scientists up there, so they'll probably just sort of geek out on the electric motor with you. I think they'll.
Okay, that's fine. Totally, absolutely.
And is that any time during the day?
Anytime during the day, if you go up there with your bike helmet, show your bike helmet, they'll take care of you at the reception desk up there. So it's a neat thing, and I think it's great those guys have won because it shows that, you know, these guys aren't athletes necessarily. I'm sure some of them participate in various athletic things, but they're just workers like the rest of us, and
sure,
they're honking up that brutally steep hill every day to work and winning that challenge every year, which means they have the highest percentage of riders in their work site for the week.
Nice.
So that means they're getting a lot of people, and they're I think the large work site or the bigger one. So that's pretty impressive because that's a lot of people as a percentage of that big work site.
Now, is it too late to register your work site and log in your commute?
No, you can register your worksite now. If you didn't have everybody ride yesterday, you may not win the Worksite Challenge, probably not. However, each day that your individuals are registered, they become eligible to win those raffle prizes for that day.
Cool.
So even if you didn't ride yesterday, your work site's not registered, you can log in and register, or you can just register your work or your commute as an individual. You don't even have to be part of the work site necessarily. So
Okay.
if you're registered, you got your commute logged for a day, you can win those raffle prizes.
Nice, very cool. Then, of course, tomorrow is Bike to Breakfast.
Yeah, tomorrow morning, for folks riding to work, there are several rest stops. We added a few more, so I'm not even sure the numbers are 8 or 10 or something throughout town. You stop, you ride your bike down the bike path or wherever, you'll see a stop set up for cyclists. There'll be free breakfast for you there.
Nice.
Just for riding your bike to work, you can get fed by one of several local businesses that are participating in the breakfast stops. So.
Yep. Now there's the one out on Route 66 and 4th with Motor Excellence.
Motor Excellence, which is a local electric bike company, kind of. They're on their way towards making it.
Electric motor
Developing
company?
the motors to be sold on electric bikes.
Yeah, so they're
Nice. Very
developing
cool.
that. It's kind of neat. There's a local business doing that.
That's awesome. So then we have Bike to School Day on Thursday. That's pretty self-explanatory, where we're encouraging the youth to ride to school.
And I'd like to point out to kids, even if the weather's bad, you know, when we were kids, it was also uphill both ways.
It was,
So
absolutely.
even if the weather's bad on Thursday, keep that in mind on that cold, rainy commute, that, you know, at least it's not uphill both ways to school.
Yeah, because that's the way it was when
Yeah.
we were kids.
I
Just
know.
ask your parents.
Generally snow throughout the year as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
even
yeah.
in July, we rode in this 4 or 5 inches of snow at least.
Yeah, I used to get barefoot to school 5 miles, you know, uphill both ways.
Hopefully you didn't have those sharp pedals that would dig into your bare feet.
I did have those.
Yeah.
Yeah, those little nasty ones.
Yeah.
And they only had unicycles.
That's true, yeah, we hadn't developed the 2-wheel bike yet.
Square wheels back in my day.
So ride in, kids, even if it's a little cold and wet.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
But do be safe and do wear your helmets.
And then Friday, another day that I'm looking forward to is Bike to Beer. This is where we give away that New Belgium cruiser, right?
Yeah,
That I
New
bought my
Belgium.
raffle tickets for.
New Belgium has been our title sponsor for several years, and they've provided the funds to make this event go, and a raffle bike, which keeps people engaged and gets them to buy some raffle tickets, which also helps us with funds. We're going to have that at the green room after work. I think it's 5 to 7 p.m. The raffle's at 6:30. So come on down to the green room, have a beverage, and we'll also be having gold sprints, which is sort of hard to describe gold sprints. If you want to Google that on YouTube, you'll see what it is. But it's a head-to-head battle on a stationary bike with your friend, and the stakes can be whatever you want, and it's a very short sprint, and whoever wins gets at least bragging rights. So we'll be having that too.
Okay.
It's a good time.
I was kind of hoping it was like a Goldschlager shot race or something. But
You can make it that. That's
Okay.
the great thing about gold sprints. You can pick the prize. You can pick the challenge. So.
nice. Okay, cool. Well, you gentlemen are going to hang out for a little bit?
Yep.
Okay, I got a bill or two to pay, and we'll be back, and I see Ted out there. Ted's going to join us here. 103.7 The Eagle Rocks. 103.7 The Eagle Rocks. It's the Morning Mayhem with Steve, and joining me in the studio. In celebration of Bike to Work Week, we have Josh, we have Anthony, and we have Ted, and we even have Linda out there. Come on in, it's fine. It's a family affair down here. So we're chatting about Bike to Work Week. We've pretty much covered what's going on. How does Bike to Work Week benefit the city of Flagstaff?
Well, there's a lot of ways. There's the obvious direct ways that if more people ride bikes, traffic congestion's less. All the things that bikes bring to a community. But the indirect ways that the event itself helps Flagstaff is that we are trying to document how many folks are participating in this event.
Sure.
Through the Worksite Challenge and the registrations online. Those numbers are used by our local multimodal planner and the other sort of government agencies in town to support grants and things like that to help improve our bike lanes, bike paths, bike routes, multimodal. It's not just bike stuff. A lot of stuff turns into pedestrian, so folks can walk, kids can walk to school or ride to school safely, things like that. So this event draws attention to the need for these things through our registering these numbers, which is why we need folks to get on that website, flagstaffbiking.org, and log their commutes. It's simple, and you can win fabulous prizes. So there's a lot of good reasons to do it. Some self-serving, some serving the community at large. But that's sort of the goal of Bike to Work Week and how it benefits the community.
Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, I need to make sure that I log on and do my commute today. Of course, today's commute by bike is only going to be about, I think, 4 miles. Yesterday was 10 because I rode in the wind and, you know, did some sales calls and what have you. And,
we can add a mile just for riding in the wind. I'll give everybody that if they want. Just
there you go. Nice.
Really windy. Or if it snows Thursday, maybe that too.
That should be worth like an extra 1.5 miles or something.
Depends on the depth of the snow, but yeah.
Okay, cool. What else we want to talk about? Tad, welcome. You look like you got something to say.
Yeah, I do. These numbers that we gather on people commuting in Flagstaff not only helps Flagstaff in the ways that Anthony mentioned, that's good data to help other communities around the country. Okay. When other people can go to their legislators asking for money for cycling infrastructure, the legislators are going to say, well, what happens to this money? What's the proof that it gets used? What's the proof that it benefits the community? Flagstaff can be held up as an example, and other communities can be held up as examples by saying, look, when you invest in this kind of infrastructure, when you promote cycling the way that Flagstaff has, you will have the same results that Flagstaff has.
Nice. Nice, very cool.
We are recognized actually at the national level by the League of American Bicyclists, which is one of the leading bike advocacy groups in the country, as a silver level bicycle friendly community. So we're coming along. We're actually a pretty small company there in those numbers. Also, I think through census data, we're apparently something like 2% of the people in Flagstaff, 2 to 3%, which doesn't sound like a big number, but that percentage of people list cycling as their main means of transportation around town. So in lieu of a car, that percentage of people are using a bike more than their car in Flagstaff. So we're pretty popular, you know, cycling is pretty popular here. We're a biking town.
What's the average percentage?
You know, I don't know that, but it's much lower than that. It's probably the 0.5% or maybe lesser range. I don't know, maybe Ted, you know?
For that particular number, I'm not sure. I know that for bike commuting, the national average is only about 1% in any community, and Flagstaff is like 8% or something like that, isn't it?
Nice.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but there's a lot of numbers there, but they all pan out that we're a big biking town.
We have 8 times the national average. I know that.
So Ted, you and I talk a lot about bike safety and my inexperience as a newbie bicyclist, so to speak. What do you want to talk to about the people in their cars with all these bikes on the road? Because when I was out yesterday, I saw so many more bicycles cruising up and down 66 there on that bike path, and people really don't pay attention to us sometimes. And you know, like we've talked about before, those white knuckle moments that somebody inexperienced like me gets. What? Any words of wisdom?
Well, if you're out there driving, just give them room. Give the cyclists room. And a lot of these more inexperienced cyclists that are out on the road right now are going to be hugging the right lane.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're going to be right in your blind spot. So before you make a right turn, take a second look and make sure there's not a cyclist there hugging the right-hand side of the lane.
And one thing that I've noticed, I don't know if this is necessarily true, so please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Assume that the bicyclist knows where they're going and what they're doing, and don't like cut in front of them and stop and all that other stuff. Is that safe to assume, or am I going to kill somebody by saying that? Yes, Steve, you're going to kill somebody.
Yes, you're going to kill somebody.
Okay, that's fine. Then never mind, everybody.
No, I think that I just think you need to be extra aware this week.
Yeah.
And you know, if you become in the habit of looking for cyclists this week, just continue that after Bike to Work Week is over.
Nice, very cool. So Josh, I've come to the conclusion that I'm not giving your bike back. I just want to say I know that you guys brought your bike, so there's no way you can carry that thing home.
Oh,
so
right.
It's gonna get stolen here real quick. So watch it get stolen. That would suck. But no, thank you very much for that opportunity. And I got to say, I would never have pegged myself as somebody that would commute by bike. Never, ever, ever, until you guys presented it to me at bikeshophub.com. Now, you're getting ready for your big grand opening that's coming up this Saturday at noon?
Yep, Saturday at noon. We're going to be kicking off things. We have our new showroom showing off all the things we do on our various websites, biketrailershop.com, bikebackshop.com, and bikekidsshop.com. The inside showroom really shows all the various products that we've been carrying online for years. And then outside of the building, we're having a lineup of electric bikes. So we're welcoming everyone to come on down. We're having electric bike demo rides.
Nice.
We're going to have Fratelli Pizza, some refreshments and music and some giveaways. So it's going to be a good time.
And this is a great opportunity for somebody that has never been on an electric bike to take it for a spin. So if you're a purist, Anthony, I'm looking at you, and not
I'm no purist.
you're no pure, okay. But then you'll ride an e-bike? You would ride an e-bike?
My dirty little secret is I ride motorcycles too. So.
Oh, okay. There you go. Right on. So I won't razz you too much, but I know some in the community like, oh, that's an electric bike. It's not a bicycle. It's a moped. That was my pompous bicycle rider voice. But anyway, come out and ride one for yourself. So many people would around this the event on Sunday. You know, we let people ride in my own and the other bikes they have, the ATVs. And the response, they came back and they had these huge smiles, and the response was, "That's so cool," and it is so cool.
Yep.
Come out and try it out. How many different lines do we have out there?
We'll actually have 5 different brands and 10 different models. So a good selection showing all the various styles, and yeah, they have different motor systems and different batteries, so you can kind of learn a little bit about the different technologies behind electric bikes. But what it really comes down to is just trying them out, getting a feel for how they really help you get around town a lot quicker, especially on like a windy day like this, or if you're carrying loads, you can get a child trailer or a cargo trailer, and
sure.
they just really help you get around. One thing I've found about getting around town on electric bike is I'm on time a lot more often. So, I've often been late, you know, not knowing what the weather's like, but
nice,
I feel
very cool.
much more reliable than the electric.
So yeah, you'll be able to slide on by and you can demo the bike that I've been demoing for the last month. The Ohm 750 Sport is what it is now. That one is the top of the line, is my understanding, as far as you know, electric bikes, and it's the top of the line as far as the price range too. It's up there a little bit at a lot of money. Come check it out and see for yourself. But there are other bikes that are nowhere near that price tag that are still just as efficient, effective, and more importantly, just as fun.
Yep.
So, cool. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for stopping by. Do we want to hang out a little bit longer? What do you guys got going on?
I got to get a kid to school. So
you got to get a kid to school?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Linda, are you going to be biking to school? Where'd Linda go? Oh, yes, Linda will be biking to school. I'm going to push this button and we'll do a legal ID, keep the FCC happy, play a tune, and we'll be back to chat about Bike to Work Week, which is this week with 103.7 Eagle Rocks.
Ever starts now. On
103.7 The Eagle Rocks is Soundgarden. It's 8:07 on your Tuesday morning. Welcome to it, my friend. Steve in the studio with Josh and Anthony. We're talking about Bike to Work Week. Of course, Josh is with BikeShopHub.com. Anthony, you are the man with Flagstaff Biking Organization. Pretty much putting on this whole thing. Well, not the whole thing. You're spearheading Bike to Work.
Well, our organization is, there's several of us who make this thing pull off, but certainly I want to take all the credit for it. I wanted to revisit that concept of purists.
Yeah. Well, and I've encountered some, but you know, in all fairness, I've thought about it. There are purists when it comes to everything.
It's true.
You know, with cars, with bicycles, with radio stations. So it's, yeah, there's that group that have their mind set on the way things should be. But everybody's.
I think it's like the political situation. We have the base that unfortunately sometimes drives the agendas of our parties, and it's maybe important to cater to the base a little bit, but our goal with Bike to Work Week is to reach out to everybody else, the center, if you will, and that's really where success with Bike to Work Week or just cycling in general and or walking, any sort of multimodal transportation, where that becomes successful is where you get everybody else, the other 95% of people, to try this out. And our organization, as much as we'd like to see people take up bike riding and ride every day to work and, you know, be those hardcore folks out there, our real goal is just to get people to maybe ride a couple days a week through the nice days through the summer. You know, I mean, if people do that, if that happened nationally, everybody rode maybe 1 day or 2 days of work or a week to work in the summer months, that'd make a huge dent on our demand for foreign oil.
Sure.
You know, change international policy for the country, change national policy. You know, if we aren't putting in oil wells all throughout our public lands, you know, it helps protect public lands indirectly. There's all kinds of great things that can come out of us as a nation getting out of the cars just some of the time. I have a car, I drive a car, I ride motorcycles too, but I ride bikes as well, and if you break that up a little bit, there's advantages, to resources and things like that. There's also advantages for individuals. You become healthier, you lose weight, you live a happier, longer life, and I don't know, riding to work is fun too. You get to explore the town and find some different places. You can wave at your neighbors because you're not in that box of glass and steel that's your car. So there's a lot of good reasons to do this, and we really want everybody to try it out. Weather might be a little rough this week, but I think you'll find it's not as bad as you think. Even when I get on my bike on a windy or cold or a little bit rainy day, you go out the door and you're, no, it's going to be terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But
I agree with that statement 100%. It's not as bad as you think.
When you start riding,
do it.
It's like, oh, it's a little windy, or oh, I got a few drops of rain on me. If it's really dumping, I take the truck. I'm not going to get too upset. But if there's threat of rain and you might get spritzed a little bit, that's not all bad. You're not going to show up to work sopping wet and feeling awful. So try it out. Even if the weather's a little cranky this week, give it a try. I think you'll find it's not as bad as you might think at first. It's actually pretty nice sometimes.
Yeah, and I rarely, get on my bike, and I have that hesitation myself as well. But I rarely finish a ride thinking, dang, I shouldn't have ridden my bike today.
Yeah, I have to agree with that 100%. And there's a lot of ways you can talk yourself out of going for a ride, but it's the classic saying, it's better to regret something you have done than something you haven't. So
yeah, absolutely. And like you mentioned, I've never, I've had the bike for about 5 weeks now, and I haven't come to the point where I say, oh, why did I take that thing? I should have brought the car, And I've ridden in the snow, I've ridden in the rain, I've ridden in the sleet. Sometimes it was all three at the same time. And like you said, it wasn't that bad. I didn't get soaked. It's got fenders, and the good part about Flagstaff is if you don't like the weather, hang around for 5 minutes because it's going to change.
Well, the bike, since it can take a little bit more time outside on your way to work, there is a chance that you actually experience all 4 seasons on one single commute.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, and that definitely happens here in Flagstaff.
Yeah, exactly.
So the website is flagstaffbiking.org for more information on Bike to Work Week. You can still register for the Worksite Challenge. You may not win the grand prize, but you're still going to win some stuff, possibly. And more importantly, you're going to add your numbers to the big pool of numbers, which is why we're doing this, right?
Yeah, the idea is to demonstrate that this event is substantially well attended by Flagstaff residents. And we know it is, but if we can show some numbers, that helps make it better to ride bikes here in Flagstaff, as we talked about earlier. Our local government, our city and county, have bought into multimodal transportation. If we can provide them with some ammunition for their grants and things, it helps everybody in the long run. Helps provide places for people to ride. Even if you don't ride, if you just drive, isn't it better if there's a bike path so everybody's clear on where you're supposed to be in traffic, things like that? Those things come as a result of people riding their bikes to work during Bike to Work Week. Partially, those numbers help.
Nice, absolutely. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen, for stopping by. Is there anything else we want to chat on before we send you pedaling against the wind today?
Just one quick plug. Stop on by our Bike Shop Hub's grand opening Saturday at noon. Should be a great time.
Oh yeah, you can plug that all you want to. Check out the e-bikes and the shops and the trailers, and just go stop by and say hi. A really nice group of guys and gals over there at bikeshophub.com. It's on Phoenix, just off San Francisco, right over there by Greek Islands. It's just go back. You'll see it. Look for the e-bikes. And give one a spin, by all means, and ask about the OHM. Check that out.
I want to throw a quick plug to our big sponsors for this year's Bike to Work Week.
Oh, please do.
New Belgium Brewing is our big title sponsor. BikeShopHub.com is our associate sponsor. And then we have Flagstaff Medical Center, Fiesta, Specialized Bicycles, Absolute Bikes, Arizona Raft Adventures. Those are a few more of our other sponsors. So thanks to all those guys. They really provide the funds to make this thing go off, get the word out. So thank you very much.
Nice. You still have time to participate in Bike to Work Week, so take it out, dust it off, oil it up, and ride it. The ride's not that bad. And if you're not riding to work, please pay attention. There are a bunch more bikes on the roads, and make sure you bike to work, okay? If I can do it, you can do it. It's that easy, right? I'm kind of hooked and committed here now.
Almost anybody can do it. Flagstaff's a small town. The commutes aren't that far.
No, absolutely.
Give it a try.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for stopping by. It's Josh and Anthony. You too, 103.7 The Eagle rocks.